Today, I begin by acknowledging the contribution of our forefathers who have helped in creating a world based on freedom and human dignity. I extend my respect to people of diverse cultures, faiths, colors, and genders, and pledge to work for equity, inclusivity, peace, and harmony. Good morning to one and all present here. I, Ishika Shah, a first year student of DME Media School, welcome you to the fifth edition of the world's first 7-day hybrid international media conference, ICAN5.
The International Media Conference, ICAN5, is being organized by DMA Media School of Delhi Metropolitan Education in collaboration with the School of Communication and Creative Arts, Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia. I would like to take a moment and introduce Delhi Metropolitan Education to our audience. Delhi Metropolitan Education is an A-grade premier educational institute affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, New Delhi, and approved by the Bar Council of India. DME Media School is one of the most promising media institutes in the country. It offers BA in journalism and mass communication. It is recognized as a school focused on the growth of its faculty and students through academic and co-curricular activities. ICAN5 has come up with the theme Inclusivity, Convergence, and Alternative Negotiation with the hashtag Communication for All. ICAN5 has the support of 18 partners that includes International Association of Media and Communication Research Gender Section and GMEC, that is Global Media and Education Council, as the conference partners. Our knowledge partners for ICAN5 are Makhanlal Chaturvedi University, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, Vigyan Prasad, Government of India, and Keshav Suri Foundation, KSF. For ICAN5, we have our international partners that are Institute for International Journalism, Ohio University, USA, Green University, Bangladesh, and Daffodil International University, Bangladesh. Our media partners are Amal Ujala, The Policy Times, Jai Hind Times, and The Hindi Post. Our culture partner is Beacon House National University, Pakistan, and ICAN5 is powered by Asian Media and Cultural Studies Network, Australia, Australia-India Film Practitioner and Research Network, SPARC, the Student Council of DME Media School, and the RIM, Research and Innovation in Media Research Cell of DME. The conference is supported by NOTO, that is National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Since 2018, DME Media School has been organizing the international conference ICAN. The themes for ICAN former editions were India and changing aspects of news in ICAN1. In ICAN2, it was Indian cinema and alternate networks, issues of community, agenda, and news in ICAN3, information, communication, and artificial network in ICAN4, inclusivity, convergence, and alternative negotiation in this session of ICAN5. ICAN5 will be witnessing 26 sessions, including 18 live sessions, 5 hybrid sessions, and 3 physical sessions. The schedule comprises of 10 technical sessions, 3 workshops, 2 masterclasses, 2 plenary sessions, and 5 panel discussions. I'm proud to mention that all the 10 technical sessions are being chaired by women scholars representing different states and countries. For more information, follow us on our social media handles. We are sharing the link in the chat box. Today, we have gathered here for the workshop on the theme Social Media, Current Research Trends, supported by Daffodil International University, Dhaka, Bangladesh. And the expert for the session is Mr. Dr. Aftab Hossain. We welcome you, sir. Now I invite Professor Dr. Amrit Saxena, Dean DME Media School and convener of ICAN5 to give his opening remarks and welcome the guest. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sajid. I begin today by acknowledging the contribution of our forefathers who have helped in creating a world based on freedom and human dignity. I extend my respect to people of diverse culture, faith, color, and gender, and pledge to work for equity, inclusivity, peace, and harmony. So I welcome everybody in the first session of day 3. The conference started day before yesterday. This is the 5th edition of ICAN conference. And the various kind of sessions have been organized as part of this, right from technical session to plenary sessions to panel discussions, master classes and workshop. And as Sajal has already told us, we have 18 partners with us. So everybody can understand when there are so many universities and so many scholars are with us, then the result is also going to the benefit of everybody. So from Bangladesh, we have one important partner, that is Daffodil International University. And the person who is heading the department, Dr. Aftab Hossain, he is there with us. He is kind enough to conduct this session, this workshop on research. And in higher education, in media education, in research, obviously research forms an important component of studies at every level, be it undergraduate or postgraduate or the PhD level. So I'm sure that this session is going to bring a lot of benefits to all those who have interest in research, who have interest in media education. So I'm looking forward to having to being a part of a session which is bringing a lot to each one of us. Thank you all, and I welcome once again Dr. Aftab Hussain.
Thank you, sir. We are also looking forward for the session. I'm happy to share that Journalism at DME is the official newsletter of DME Media School. This fortnightly publication covers all the major activities happening in and out of the campus. It is the student-centric newsletter carried out entirely by them under the supervision of faculty members. DME TV is the official YouTube channel where you can find the playlist related to all the sessions, lecture series, film festival, and conferences. Before we proceed, I would like to request Ishika Shaw, my batchmate from DME Media School, first year student, to share the profile of the guest.
Mr. Aftab Hussain is head, Department of Journalism, Media and Communication, Daffodil International University. He is a researcher scholar at School of Communication, University of Science, Malaysia. Adding to his excellence, he has contributed in the areas of research like cyberbullying, social media, news framing, film, and television. He also holds expertise in documentary filmmaking. He is the research coordinator in the Department of Journalism, Media, and Communication and member secretary, Research Ethics Committee, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences in Daffodil International University. We are honored to have you today and eagerly looking forward for your session. And now I request Mr. Aftab to take this session forward from here.
Hello everyone. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Professor Ambrish Saxena, Professor Manasvi. Thank you, Sajal and Ishika for inviting me here. I would like to thank ICAN5 committee for inviting me. Am I audible clearly? Okay, thank you. So without much other introductions, I would like to start. If you permit me, I would like to start my discussion. Thank you. Hello, Professor Sushmita. How are you? I hope you're fine. So at first, I would like to discuss about the current research trends, because social media is a very trendy research area these days, and people are more into it and they want to work on social media research these days. And different countries and universities, they're going for social media research. And so in that perspective, I'm also a social media researcher, and my PhD topic is on cyberbullying. So social media is a very trendy thing these days. So I would like to say first that we all know what is social media and what are the types of social media, but how social media works, the main types of social media, like collaborative projects, the blogs and microblogs, Facebook, Twitter, social networking sites like Dig, Facebook, LinkedIn, content communities, where we create contents of YouTube and virtual gaming World of Warcraft, which is very popular, and we have some more other popular games in Bangladesh, which is PUBG, which is very well known. My students don't come to class because of PUBG. I have the experience, and also the virtual social world. So there are different types of social media which come across in our life, and we are getting part of it. So that's why it is very important to know that what social media and how social media works. And we can see here Facebook is the highest used social media in the world, and also YouTube, Twitter, Google Plus. These are the according to uh, Global Web Index, almost more than half of the world is using Facebook. So when we are all using Facebook or social media in our life, it is very important to know how they are impacting, how they are creating impact on our life. So these are the things I'm going to discuss today, and how the research, what are the scholars saying about social media and research trends. So about first of all, I would like to discuss that what people thinks. These are the general perception of people, that what are the impacts of social media in their life. At first they would say it has improved communications, because in the earlier days we didn't know how whom to catch, how, like if my cell phone is not working in abroad, my sim is not working, we had to know where that person is. But nowadays we just make a call to them via WhatsApp or messenger calls. So it has created communications improvement. Also the networking, like all of us, we are here. I never met Professor Amrish or Professor Mansavi. We are connected through the online communications. So it has created a networking via social media. Live events sharing turned into a new different era after the social media. Because online business, I don't know about India, but I believe it's similar. In Bangladesh, the online business is very popular, and it has created a new era of business in Bangladesh, and I believe it's same in India. And on the other hand, there are some negative points too, like cyberbullying or mental stress or hate speech. They have a part of social media usage, and people are not getting in touch in real life. And also these days the job interviews are taken online, or people's social media activity, people are getting job without getting proper interview. That could be a negative side as well, because sometimes we are better at face to face, not in the social world or virtual world. And public relations and image building is now more dependent on social media activities. In earlier days, the public relations or image building was more into real life thing. But now, if you have more followers on Facebook or Twitter, you are more popular, the image goes higher. So it could be another conflicting thing. So these are the points how people thinks, general people, the mass audience thinks. But and also the research areas are these the scholarly world. They start studies on fake news, comparative reviews, business PR campaigns. But how the researcher thinks, they have some we research, when we dig into a scientific study, it creates a different angle from the general perspective. So according to Polido, he found citizens are paying more attention in social media rather than the real life works by the government and the marketing teams. So they believe in social media awareness. People getting more aware because of social media information. People are less dependent on mainstream media or television, radio, but sharing. I guess all of my friends, my young friends from DME and other universities, they are also similar like Bangladesh. We follow news over social media, not on the television or newspapers. So these are the findings, and also the social media algorithm helped us finding pure information, and it helped to get the real information and stay away from the misinformation. Although misinformation was in during the pandemic, and still we are going over it. At the pandemic time, so social media had a bunch of misinformation or hoax or disinformation, I would say. So these things were created over social media, and social media algorithms help to get away of it. And social media platforms, in many platforms like Facebook, Twitter, they had a fact-checking service. So this helped to get rid of the misinformation. Also, we found social media influencer-based marketing during these days, and advertising consumers, motivation speakers. They helped us to find more business oriented or PR, public relations things. And also our society is getting more influenced by the social media. People are more aware about their social media appearance. Personally, what I am, I try to represent myself differently on social media. That's the thing going on these days. I will discuss these researches later on my discussion. And also media houses, they are trying to frame their agendas. We all know about the agenda setting. Agenda setting is how we want to show our media channel or media institution and whom to support politically or socio-politically. So the biggest channels like Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN, they are also trying to frame their geopolitics with their social media channels, how they're and they want to show that we are supporting whom or what, and but silently they are trying to frame those news according to the social media, according to their social media readings. So social media research in academia, these are the organizations or universities or schools. They are in more into academic social media research. Berkman Klein Center, Social Media Research Center, Helsinki University, Amsterdam School of Communications, which is the #1 communication school in the world, and also Illinois University of Illinois Chicago, National University Singapore. They have the dedicated social media study centers. So these universities, if we want to know about more, what is the current trends, what the outer world thinks, we have to go to these universities' research projects and PhD or research projects and institutional research projects. Digital Media Research Center, Queensland University of Technology. We can go there and find their research, current research things and what they're studying. This is all about my session today. What these top universities are dedicated to social media centers, they are studying. So let's see what they study. Actually, they study ethics and ethical practices of social media. We all know that when we study social media or we go into dig into research social media, we that those days are past. Like how many hours you use Facebook or social media, how many hours, why do you use social media? We all know how many hours. The global hour is 2 hours and 27 minutes to 3 hours. And for young generation, it is more than 5 hours on a day. Every day, social media, we spend around 5 hours, 3 to 5 hours on social media. Those studies are done. We don't need to know more about that. But now the social media research trend has gone further. So what are the ethical practices of social media? How do the or media schools or media organizations, they are practicing ethical practice in social media, even the business. So social media and social media fatigue. We all know we are using is this creating a fatigue? A recent study said more users or Canadian users, they're tired of using Facebook. So this study says they're now trying to get something new and they're looking for something new. On the other hand, after that study, Mark Zuckerberg declared that they're going to go for AR/VR social media. The Facebook platform will shift into AR/VR technology in near future. We might get it by within 5 years. Is getting changed by the social media research trends. The research found the young generations are tired of using social media. So these organizations behavior or changing their platform, and the trust and trust affected by the technology, how we are perceiving trust. Getting into social media research, sentiment analysis. We all know we post, we like, we share, and we comment things we do in social media, right? So if I'm posting something, someone today's session on my Facebook and LinkedIn yesterday, and people created da 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 da, congratulations, good luck, best wishes, these things, the positive reviews. So I'm getting emotionally positive because of that. But that's my sentiment. I'm getting emotional. I'm getting happy. I'm getting motivated. But if someone posts a negative post, what are you going to do in that session? You don't know nothing. It could be a feedback, but that can create a negative emotion on me. So these are the sentiment analysis are going through the for the social media worldwide. The top media schools, they're researching social media sentiment analysis. And we all know the social media platforms are using AR/VR technology. But what about the AR/VR technology in psychological therapy? Have you ever thought about that? The AR/VR technology is creating a psychological therapy. Somehow, a psychological patient in most probably Singapore or Taiwan, he was very depressed because of his past life. He was missing his past life and his partner. So the psychological team created a social media platform for him and created his past life people, and using AR/VR technology, they are recreating his memories. So these are the advanced research the social media is going through. Information, disinformation. I would like to clear one thing, that there is no fake news. The term is actually information, misinformation, disinformation, hoax. If it is fake, then it can't be news. So news have to be truth, the fact. So fake news is a very popular term, which was popularized by Mr. Donald Trump. That fake news, it's fake news, it's fake news. But actually, it's not fake news, it's misinformation or disinformation. So these are the impacts of disinformation, hoax, or misinformation. We are studying these things. The global researchers are studying these things. And digital media, social media governance. We all are we have half of the world uses social media. So it's a different world, the virtual world of social media. Half of the world, more than half of the world is using Facebook. So the Facebook community is a different world. So how it is governing? What is the governance policy of that Facebook? So these are the studies, are the advanced studies now. The research now is in the research trend. And digital well-being, digital divide. I'm using social media. I have 1 million followers. Suppose I have 1 million followers, and my friend who doesn't have any follower, or hardly 100 to 200. So I am a better person in that perspective, right? I have followers. I have whatever I say, people follows. So it's creating a digital divide. The more we use, or one of my friend knows how to hack into others' account. though it is quite impossible in Facebook, but still the hackers, or someone who can hack for fun. So he's the superior. It's another type of cyberbullying. The cyberbullying studies, sexual harassments, the trauma, how they're going, what is the social and ecological impact of cyberbullying. That was also my PhD title, the social ecological impact of cyberbullying, how it is going through the trauma, how the people are getting through the trauma, how they're getting out of that trauma, what is the social psychological barrier, what are the psychological barriers. So these could be the studies. And the reputation of digital publicity. I have already said that if my public relations or my image is higher, if I have more followers, so these things are not based on my works, based on my social media appearance. It creates more publicity in social media. People think he or she is a very popular person because he has 5 million followers, but we don't know how many films that superstar's done. We have some superstars in Bangladesh who doesn't have any films but 10 million followers, and they are the celebrities. But is there any film? No, there is none. Social media bubbles and democracy of bubbles, the similar people of similar thoughts, people with someone is environmentalist, some people are environmentalists, some are animal lovers, dog lovers. We have these type of groups, and these type of groups are not small. These groups are into we can divide into thousands and millions, 100,000 people, dog lovers in Bangladesh. That is a very big group. Millions of people are there, they're giving reviews, but are they going for the healthy food? Are they going for the proper environmental activities? Sometimes we know environment is helpful, and sometimes we create a people doesn't know what to do. So this could be options, and these are the current trends in social media. And some popular theories here using social media, according to he said Goffman's presentation of self, how we present into social media ourselves. These could be the options of theories. These are the theories: social capital theory, social ecological theory, shared world, how do we perceive the world, and media ecology, uses and gratifications, cultivation, social learning theory, planned behavior, the intentions of using social media, and the behavioral things, how we are using social media and what are the impacts. So these are the popular theories of social media research these days. There are more, but these are the most common and popular, highest cited theories. The research that use these theories were highest cited scholarly work. So these are the theories. And what about the methods? Yes, I'm a qualitative researcher. I'm not into quantitative, but these are the methods of social media research, analytics, text analysis in quantitative, how many times the words were used and how they were used is qualitative. Framing, trends, marketing, PR, behavioral things, behavioral changes, social media and political observations, the perceptions of politics is qualitative, quantitative, research people are doing these days. And qualitative research, the case studies, we all know the top or the popular research areas, trending research I have discussed earlier. These are more qualitative researches these days. So qualitative research is creating the new dimension or dynamics in social media research, and quantitative researchers are testing those things. Quantitative researchers are testing those ideas, or they're trying to get what the qualitative researchers are trying to say. So digital divide, cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a type of study that is more understandable in qualitative research. That's what I think. And narratives, different narratives we are getting daily, and we can discuss these narratives and the studies on social media. Exclusion, we are excluding people. We all know we are excluding people. Like among our 30 classmates, we 25 create a messenger group, and we exclude the 5 because they're boring or they don't have life. We try to say, dude, get a life, but those are getting excluded from our social media world. So these are the things we are getting. So this could be the qualitative studies and socio-political and religious agendas. How we perceive religion, how we perceive which party I do support, that's quantitative research, but why I'm supporting that political group, that is qualitative research. And why I'm posting things on social media, that could be a qualitative study. So these are the basic things of social media studies these days. And now I would like to invite, we have a huge participant groups. So if you have any questions, we can discuss. This is a workshop, not a lecture session. So I would like to discuss, and then I would like to ask the host that, can we make groups? We have participants 104, I think 100. So can we make 10 different groups on, what can we say that? It's 10 different breakout rooms to discuss different things, and they can discuss for, give ideas, what could be the current research according to our perspective, the subcontinent and Asian perspective, or people from different regions of the world. They can come up with ideas, and we can discuss those ideas.
I think, yes, sir, we can do that. But I would request technical team to give access to people who want to ask questions, so
yes,
that we'll open the security settings and you can just, ask your question.
okay.
So
we
there's
have a
one
raised
hand.
hand. We have a raised hand.
Yes,
I
we
found.
have a raised hand. You can switch on your camera and the mic and ask your question directly.
I guess that is Muhammad Rashidul Hassan. He is
Yes.
my teacher, one of my favorite teacher. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Hello, so can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
We can.
Okay, yeah. So I was a bit confused about the methodology you were talking about. So I think it's quite tricky when you are distinguishing between qualitative and quantitative method. The way you are listing the topics.
Yes.
Sometimes people are even using mixed methods for this
Yes, sir.
kind of things. So do you have any answer for that?
So mixed method is another popular type of study, but I didn't go to mixed method because that is something that needs a different session, I guess. Mixed method, yes, we can study mixed method, even the analysis of text analysis, how many the word counts could be quantitative. The different words are the meaning of different words, the perception could be qualitative. So that could be a mixed method study. But I think that requires a different session, according to me, because mixed method study is a huge area. And we need basic understanding of research before going to mixed method study. So that's what I think, sir.
I appreciate that.
Anything
No,
to
no.
share?
So
Yes, sir.
no, I wanted to say that, when you are listing these items, like these are the this method, quantitative method. So now I can't remember the exact name, but some of your topics, this could be quite applicable for quantitative methods already.
Yes,
but
sir.
you listed that those items for qualitative one. That's what I'm saying.
Sir, I think am I having
So this we are not able to hear him properly. So maybe it's a problem at his end. There's some.
Okay.
Can you just repeat your point? We did not hear you, Mr. Mohammed. We could not hear you properly.
Oh yeah, what I'm saying, that's the way. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can
yeah,
you hear me
yeah,
now?
yeah. Yes, better.
Yeah. So my question was like, so the way presenter was listing the topics, like these are applicable for qualitative methods and these are for quantitative methods. So why I got confused, that I thought that, the way he listed the topics applicable for the opposite method as well.
Opposite method
That's what
as
I
well.
was asking. Yeah. That's
Yes,
what I was
sir.
asking.
So opposite
Yeah.
method, and we have to go through Creswell. Creswell, last
Mhm.
Creswell and Poth 2017 for that, the mixed method, and we can go to the Journal of Mixed Method Studies edited by Mr. John Creswell.
Mhm.
Basic understandings of those methods, and then we can, sir, go for the mixed method studies, I guess.
Yes.
And
So
it's all right. Yeah.
it is more basic understanding of social media research. That's why I didn't go for mixed method studies. Thank you, sir.
So
No, it's all right. Thank you.
there are other questions which I've received. So people want to know if you can give any example of case study when it comes to social media, that if we are doing a case study, because most of our students, especially at the undergraduate and master's level, and
Yes.
of course at the PhD level, now they are focusing on social media research. And
Yes.
if they want to do qualitative, because qualitative you said is your area also. So how can they, what kind of case studies, if you can give some examples, and if it is okay, we can just close this presentation, and if that is okay with you, we can just stop the presentation and we can have an interaction right here.
Okay. Thank you. So I would like to say that the case study, a popular case study was found in a Canadian students. They the grade 10 students, they were into the study, or they were the participants of the study, and they designed how to stop cyberbullying, and they were supposed to teach their juniors that how they can get rid of cyberbullying or schoolyard bullying, the traditional bullying, I guess. So how it could be done, and in different schools in Canada, that the different students of different schools were trying to give some ideas that this is how they bully their students, junior students or junior classmates. So these could be the studies, like how they are perceiving the cyberbullying things, or the traditional, the schoolyard bullying into their real life. Also, I would like to say that case study could be done how the psychological barriers are facing by the social media users. I have already mentioned that the fatigue of using social media. This could be a very good topic on case study, that who is going where after using social media. I'm using social media for 12 years for 5 hours a day. Now I'm getting fatigued. So that could be a case study.
So there's another question which is about the sampling. So
Yes.
this is basically, they want to know, he wants to know that if you're collecting data, like they normally what students do, because the most of the students here are undergraduates right now.
Yes.
So whenever they are collecting data from particular sites, suppose they are doing a study on social media posts or tweets of a particular company, maybe they want to know how these tweets, or a politician, for example.
Exactly.
So what then, when sampling is a big question when it comes to
Yes.
social media, that how many websites to be checked, or how many pages to be checked, and which media to focus on. Sometimes people pick Facebook as well as Twitter together. So
Yes.
that sampling becomes a little confusing when it comes to social media. So can you recommend something about it? Can you suggest something?
It is quite impossible to recommend directly, but let's assume a situation like if we are like social media news trends and the social media news among the popular news media houses, if we try to get that analysis, then it is better to get the samples from, if it is inside India or around the world. If we are going around the world, we have to get the topmost news organizations. But how can we select the top news organizations. It could be based on subscribers. It could be based on the page likes. Like I have a recent study on Al Jazeera, BBC, and CNN. So Al Jazeera was the highest liked on Facebook page, has the highest liked Facebook news page inside Asia, and in America it's CNN, and BBC is representing Europe. So that could be a study. Also, the print version of news, like China Daily, has the highest subscribers. Then Herald has more likes in their news pages. So this could be the things. We have to go for the highest subscribers or the oldest ones. We have to get one area and get the most significant organizations. And for politics, we all know that the most popular political sites, like their political Facebook page, we can go for the top highest used or highest subscribed political pages, top 3, top 5, and we have to explain why top 5. That's the most crucial thing. We are selecting things, that's okay. We have criteria. That's the inclusion criteria. You have to study if you're a student, undergraduate student, then I would suggest to study on criteria, inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria. We have to know deep on these things, and we have to get those criteria, and we have to go for literature reviews, how the previous researchers worked on that. And then we can suggest that this could be the inclusion criteria, and if they don't fulfill these things, they will be excluded. So these criteria should be studied before sampling. And we have different sampling methods. We have to justify why this sampling method we have chosen. Thank you.
Right. So this question is another question. Next question is not directly related to research, but it is about how safe is putting your data when it comes to the social media. Students have a lot of queries related to this, because we know
Yes.
that through that data, there's data leak also. There's that the data is
Yes.
sold for a lot of other things, and
Yes.
especially for the marketing. So they want to know that when you are doing that kind of analysis and research, isn't and you're putting, what about that data collection, data analysis, and security factors in that?
I would say it's pretty secured from the outsiders, the third party. But what about the data the social media platforms are selling? I'm pretty sure we have all faced those things. Like if we Google search the flight tickets from Delhi to Mumbai, suppose, then when we are using Facebook, we all get the advertisements, the cheap flights. That's the algorithm how social media is using. So it is, if you are okay with that, putting your data, that's okay. But if you're not, then it's not a good choice to put personal data on social media. I personally don't feel safe putting my personal data on social media. So that's the thing I believe. And for research, they just study profiles without permission. It's not ethical at all. So before collecting data from different persons, if it's an organization, that's okay because they have made it public. But if he or she is a person, put their data, please ask for ethical committee will ask in future that did you get the permission, where are the papers? And even after study, you have to send the findings to the participants or the people whose data was collected. So there are two different stages of ethical clearance. First, pre-study, the permission to take data, and then post-study, that after getting your data without your name and identification, this thing, these are the findings. Are you okay with that? It is better. In qualitative research, we do that. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Another question there, I don't know why are you people not raising your hand and asking directly, but I'm getting some questions on personal chat. So they want to, if you can elaborate on sentiment analysis, even I would like you to give some examples is done, that
Okay.
how, because how posts are read and how they, finally their softwares which are used to do that. So if you can just explain and elaborate on sentiment analysis.
Sentiment analysis is the most popular, one of the most popular social media studies, but the software, it is cross area of cross departmental area. It is done by the Department of Computer Science and Social Sciences, because we need the most popular software is Python for sentiment analysis. We create a database of words in sentiment analysis. There's this word means this, happiness. This word means sad. This is what can I say? This is a bad word. This is a good word. This is a positive word. This is a negative word. We make a different list of words. Then we put into the texts into the software in Python, most popularly known Python. Then the analysis gives us the word, the meaning of those words, and this is the first stage. And then we go for the qualitative analysis, like you're using NVivo, MaxQDA. So these are the popular softwares. Go for that. NVivo, MaxQDA, MaxQDA. These are the popular softwares, and you can get those softwares for 15 days for free. And ask your institution to buy the professional versions. And if you have a person from programming background, ask them to create a database, and then those words could be sent. And how it is sentiment analysis, because we post things and we get the replies. These are the most popular studies done. We collect those feedbacks, the reports or the comments, and then we put into the database of Python, and the Python brings out some positive and negative words. Then we put those words into the another qualitative software for get the actual things, like actual meaning of those. Sometimes machines, you don't believe in machine overall, because yeah, some words like you are doing damn good. So damn is a negative word according to machine. So that could be a misunderstanding. So there, so that's why we go for qualitative analysis later after those. It's the cross check of the analysis by the Python. Then we are, and then we go for the qualitative analysis. These are the process actually, and you can just Google or Scholar search. I would like to request the students who are here, the students, undergrad students or master students, don't Google, go for Google Scholar. That's the thing we need, not Google, Google Scholar. And Google Scholar and Google, if you study sentiment analysis, emotional analysis, you can find the list of studies. So I think I have tried my best to clear this thing.
Yes, for sure. And thank you for reinstating the fact for Google Scholar. So we
Yeah.
have been telling our students about the same, because many students, they are now writing papers, and we do study media research as a subject also.
Yes.
So I always tell them that go for Google Scholar, and thank you so much for repeating that here.
Thank
so
you,
there's
ma'am.
another question, which is of course related to what you said earlier, that subject study research in social media is still not common because of privacy. Like you also mentioned that we need to take permission and ethical. So do you suggest subject study as ethnographical research?
Ethnographical research, it's a huge area, but yes, ethnographical research could be done for social media. It is also a very popular study, and if we go for the recent studies, ethnographical studies, we can find some good studies at the Berkman Klein Center and QUT, their websites they are having, and Helsinki University, they're trying ethnographical research in social media. So it could be a very good area, but it is difficult. it takes time for ethnographical studies, because the researcher here is required to stay in person on that study, or that during the study. So it takes time, but it could be a very good idea, ethnographical research. Thank you.
So there's another question about the theoretical perspective, because when we do research, we need to add theories, and still we have, because social media, new media is relatively new, and whatever theoretical background we use it, which is given for the communication research. So
Yes.
do you think that, or you can tell us that what are the new theories, or whenever we are doing analysis, so we go back to the old theories which we have already in existing system, or do you think that new theories need to be developed? So what is the relevance of theoretical perspective, and how we can make our research more foolproof?
At first, I would like to say that the old theories are not meant for social media. That's the actual thing. But we can contextualize that. That's what we call conceptual framework. We take the theoretical framework and we contextualize the study, and then it is called the conceptual framework. So it could be done. And recent theories, we have some popular theories like binge watching on social media, OTT platforms. These are the recent theories. We can take these theories as well. It depends on what study you are going for. If you are trying to investigate that are people happy using this platform, then I think the most popular theory is uses and gratifications. So there is no other way to go beyond this theory. And recent theories, actually the theories are developed day by day and contextualized. Like uses and gratifications, it was meant to get the television audience, but now the social media contextualization, it could be a very good study. And we have to study more theories. Without study or reviewing communication theories, there is no other way. So we have to go to the library all the time and find new theories of communications that could be very useful for your study. If we study more theories, the ideas of research come into our mind more frequently. That I want to study this, then go for a scholar, that the recent studies on this theory applying into this context, find the new studies, go through them, find their research gaps, and then try to bring something new. Or our students can, the young researchers, I would suggest that don't try to be too much what's the word, ambitious on your research. The young researchers should follow the basic things. What I have done, actually, it helped a lot. That I used to find a study into the other parts of the world, like the Western world, or the American perspective, European perspective, Australian perspective. And then I put that study into my context. The theory remains same, or the similar, but the methods or the sampling are different. And then you can contribute to the scholarly world. And this could be the starting of for a young researcher. So I have done those things, and I'm still doing those things. Like I'm trying to contextualize. And after 3-4 studies, 3-4 good studies, then we can think independently, I guess. Thank you, ma'am.
Right. Thank you so much. And I would just like to inform you and other people also that we had a very interesting session yesterday evening with Professor Jyotika Ramaprasad from University of Miami. And she was talking about indigenous people and how we can, do research and what we can contribute in their growth and how it is important for from the communication perspective. So she also said the same thing. So I want everybody, I'm just repeating words of her, Professor Jyotika and Professor Aftab, that for research, you need to do a lot of study. So you have to read what others are doing. You have to go to library. You have to look for things which are already there in the system, in the existing knowledge. So that you can add to the existing knowledge, you can add some value, you can further elaborate and give, maybe you can also give a theory in future once you know what is it, what exactly. And the importance of theoretical and conceptual framework is really, really important,
Yes.
irrespective of the fact whether you are, you're doing study or related to social media, or you're doing related to development communication or any kind of research. So, okay, there is one question from Halima Akhtar that if I want to do research on social learning theory, in
Mhm.
what method I have to follow? Social learning theory.
Social learning theory. So at first, Halima, thank you for the question, but I would like to know about social learning theory. You want to know the method, but what is the context? Without getting the context, it could be, the answer could be, cannot be specific. The social learning theory that if we create an image of a situation like um, what are the high school students, how the high school students are perceiving social media trends, uh, and how they're learning from their social environment. So if that is the study, then you can study quantitative methods, that the correlational studies, how it is creating impact. And you can also study and you can get the FGDs, focus group discussions. And it could be a mixed method. My teacher, Mr. Mohammad Rashidul Hassan, already mentioned that mixed method study, which I didn't touch today. It could be both. Then if we create a mixed method study, then it is better for the data triangulation. How the surveys say that these are the young people things that they're learning from their environment, social environment. And this is how they elaborately say how they're getting those social learning from their surroundings. So you can triangulate those data. It could be a mixed method study as well. But as a young researcher, I would suggest not foregoing mixed method studies. You need to be good in quantitative and qualitative both. Then it is better to go for mixed method studies. Or when the student becomes a full-grown researcher, they can collaborate with groups, quantitative researchers and qualitative researchers, and then they can come together for a mixed method study. So social learning theory could be a mixed method study. It could be a quantitative study, survey, and a qualitative study as well. But I would always choose qualitative over quantitative. I would go for FGDs. Thank you. But that's a biased answer.
No, thank you so much. Even, I feel that qualitative study is more, it's easy to, it's easy to connect. As in, when you're
Yes.
talking about social sciences, you're talking about communication.
Yes.
Qualitative studies are more, have more value. In any case, in quantitative, we always struggle for sample. So
Yes.
whatever sample we take, it is less. We
It
can't
is less.
generalize it so easily.
Yes.
So
And
I'll take the last question, and this is my personal question also. We would like some recommendation for books. So if you
okay.
can suggest some good books, especially for these social media research or
Uh,
qualitative methods, particularly in social media, if you can recommend some good books to our students, we can share the list later also. But if you know, if you can tell us some books they can refer to.
uh, First of all, I don't remember the exact book details. I can share within an hour after this session. But
Absolutely.
yes, but I would say that for qualitative studies or mixed method studies, go for Creswell. He is the last thing these days for qualitative studies. Creswell and both qualitative research design. It was published in 2017. And for social media studies, I have a very good book to recommend. I currently don't remember. I can give the list. It was published by the Noah publishers, and it is very good book, and it is all about the social media research. So the name of the book could be Social Media Research, but I don't remember right now. It was published in 2016 by Noah publishers. So that's a very good book, and that book says how to contextualize different theories into current social media research. So that could be a very good study.
Halima has raised her hand. I think she wants to ask one more question. If time permits, we can take one more. Halima? You can switch on your camera also if you want. You can.
Hi,
yes.
I'm from Bangladesh.
Yes, ask.
I'm very interested about public relations. I want to know about the research area of public relations. If you can please suggest me some books or articles about public relations.
Hi, Halima. Thank you. Are you my student?
No, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So, Halima, I would like to recommend you to go to Google Scholar at first. That's the basic thing, that public relations and social media. And right now, I'm supervising a study at the HMKW, Germany, Berlin. It's in Berlin, and it's the School of Public Relations. So in my study, student study, we are studying how the Ivy League universities are using stakeholder communications via their Twitter. So it's that's a study I'm supervising right now. So in that study, we are getting the Twitter posts and retweets and shares, comments from Twitter of these of the Ivy League universities. Harvard, MIT, we are New York University. We are getting those universities Twitter and posts for last 1 year during pandemic, and we try to study which post is trying to get the stakeholders, how they're managing. Like we all know, Harvard is the last thing in academia, MIT, the topmost universities, but how they're trying to get the future students, the prospective students, connecting prospective students via their public relations or their Twitter posts. This could be a study that could be a study. And public relations, how their stakeholder communications, search with these keywords: stakeholder communications, public relations, social media, Twitter. You have to search one by one. And I would like to say, I forgot to mention in earlier discussion, that research is not a thing that I want to be a researcher today, I will be a researcher within a month, or it takes time. You have to, we eat for an hour 3 times or 5 times a day. So you have to make time for research, the study, for 1 hour, at least 1 hour a day, and try to write at least 100 words every day. So it creates a good academic writing skills. And study. If you don't forget to eat or sleep, you don't forget to study for your research. Your classroom studies, it's a different, but make sure you have 1 hour of research. All of us doesn't need to be like that. If you want to get into the deeper world of research, then make time for study. Study for 2 years, 1 year, then you take notes on your notebook that I want to study this. This could be a study. This is a good idea. Then we can dig into a research. And always find mentors. Try to find good mentors. And before that, it could be a very good option, but it is difficult today. If we could have time to search articles on Web of Science database or Scopus database, try to arrange some studies or discussion sessions that how to find literature. It could be a take notes, give 1 hour every day, 4 days a week. That's an you study for 1 or 2 years, then you can get the ideas. Thank you, Halima. I think you are we are clear about it, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So, Pramod Kumar Pandey, my colleague and a professor here in DME, he wants to ask something. Yes, Pramod, sir. Unmute.
Good afternoon, sir. Like you said about...
Hello.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah. So like you said about qualitative, that you prefer qualitative over quantitative. And then ma'am added that, even she feels that qualitative is better because of the better connect.
it's not
And
better. It's like preference.
yeah. And she said that sample size is always inadequate. It appears to be inadequate. But, one of my professor always said, measure what is measurable and make measurable what is not. So we ultimately have to create scales, and we have to measure even those kind of things which are not readily available in terms of scales. So in this case, when we are doing studies, in this case, when we are doing qualitative studies, sir, can we generalize the results in that case for a larger population size? And if yes, then what are the considerations we need to, be aware of?
Okay, thank you, sir. At first, I would like to say it's not which one is better. It's the preference, that what type of study I want to do. The basic difference between qualitative and quantitative is one gives a numerical answer, another gives an idea. So in qualitative research, we find the basic idea and we propose the world that this is what is happening and this is the idea. And then the quantitative researchers, they get those ideas, make into a framework, and then they test those hypotheses. So in real world, both are important, because at first we need idea, right? And then we can measure those ideas that it is okay or not. So both are important, but I'm very poor in mathematics. I almost got failed in my school, high school, in mathematics. So whenever it is mathematics, I'm way away of it. So that's my preference. And I understand naturally during my PhD, I understood qualitative easily. It's because maybe it's because my supervisor was also a qualitative researcher. So it's my preference. It's not the best or the best option, but it's best option for me. So qualitative is very important.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Really clarified the idea, and then the quantitative coming in. That was very helpful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Now I hand over back because time doesn't permit us to move. It's already 12:40. So I hand over back to Sajal.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an enlightening session. You have explained everything so well, and we have taken back so much from this session. So all the participants are requested to fill out the feedback form given in the chat box. You will receive participation certificates post filling out the form. Now I invite Professor Dr. Susmita Bala, Head DME Media School and Chief Associate Convener, ICAN5, to give the concluding remarks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sajal. Thank you, Aftab ji. We all understand that social media has become the order of the day. It has become an inseparable part of our lives. It connects people and is used not only for entertainment, but also for content generation and dissemination. We also use it for academic purposes. A lot of researches are being done on social media and its current trends. Aftab Hossain has provided much such information, which will definitely be of great use to researchers. Thank you, Aftab ji, for such a wonderful session. Thank you. Thanks to all the participants of the workshop. Thank you.
With this, we come to the conclusion of the workshop 1. Now I invite Ishika to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Sajal. My foremost and heartfelt thanks to the session expert for sharing his valuable insights on social media research trends. Sincere thanks to management of DME, Amin Sahani, Vice Chairman, Justice Bhavar Singh, Director General, Professor Dr. Ravikant Swami, Director, for their support in every endeavors being taken by DME Media School. Heartfelt thanks, Dean Media School, Professor Dr. Amrish Saxena, Head Media School, Professor Dr. Susmita Bala, for their motivation in planning and executing the flagship event of Media School. Thanks to Dr. Manasvi Maheshwari, Associate Professor and Associate Convener of ICAN5 for overall coordination for the International Media Conference. Thanks to Sumantra Sathidas and Vishal Sahai, Assistant Professors, and Yogesh Sharma, Faculty at Media School for Digital and Production Support for ICAN5. Thanks to Dr. Manmeet Kaur, Associate Professor, and Pramod Kumar Pandey, Assistant Professor, for their efforts in supporting ICAN5. Thanks to Shruti V.S., Assistant Professor, Media School, for managing technical and cultural team along with student coordination. Mohammed Kamal and Sukriti Arora, Assistant Professor for newsletter, press briefings, and media coordination support. Dr. Ritika Saxena, Assistant Professor for design and creating support. Saima Parvez and Dr. Sumedha for their support with social media management. I also thank Pavan Saxena, Anmol Mehta, Talika Arora, CM Anand, Abhishek Yadav, Jagan for administrative and logistic support. Student Convener Priya Yadav for her consistent support in ICAN5. All student coordinators from newsletter, production, hospitality, anchoring, cultural, and digital operations for their coordination and consistent efforts for the conference. Thanks to all the researchers, participants who have sent their full research papers for this International Media Conference, participants of various sessions. Special thanks to our conference partner, knowledge partners, international partners, cultural partner, and media partner.